Hello, hello, and welcome along to episode 2 of Criminal Intent.
Dun dun.
Episode 2 comes after episode 1. Who knew that?
That's
What
true.
happened in episode 1? We will find out. But first, a little reminder of our cast. Our 4 were in jail, and those 4 are DB, the Tabaxi Curseborn Sorcerer, played by Pat.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Gnob, the Bugbear Fighter, played by Rico.
Hello.
Ambrosia, the Yuanti Bard, played by Mikayla.
Charmed.
And Cornelius, the wizard, now panicking. Half-elf? Aasimar. Aasimar, yes. The wizard Aasimar. Played by Josh. Look, alright, I don't have enough sleep.
So mysterious.
All over the place. I forgot who was who and what. I've got people joining Quack Packs. My alerts are in a corner. Welcome back, Rico. Ah! I've moved everyone's face instead of the alert box, and I don't even know how that happened. That's not even slightly similar. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you don't even know. My sleight of hand's got beyond nat 20-able. Cool. Alright, well, so here we are doing some things, being some people, being some places. Last episode you escaped from prison. How did that go?
Pretty good, all things considered. We all lived.
Well,
someone.
No one important died.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's a good thing to emphasize.
What spurred your escape from prison? Or who?
That little guy.
The Invisible Man.
Yes, the Invisible Man. He appeared and opened the cells. He was rescuing someone else, and I think saving us was just incidental because it opened all the cells.
I think
he called us a distraction.
In
he
fact,
said we were a distraction.
Exactly
That's right.
Exactly that. And you did catch a glance of him, I believe, at one point. He was visible.
Did we?
He was.
I don't know if all of us did.
He was a Kender.
When he first came in, he showed himself. He was a tender.
Little guy. It's kind of cute.
Yeah. 3'5".
Yeah. Short
and
king.
Magnificent. There were some people in prison with you who escaped with you.
That's right.
You believe that the potential target of this escape may have been a mysterious tiefling. Mostly because he got made invisible too, and that usually is a good indication he was important. However, there were some other people with you. There was Mikayla, rest in at least 2 pieces. There was Gurnash, probably rearrested.
King.
Probably
I'm
rearrested.
Sure we'll see him again.
Yeah, we're circling back for a jailbreak to get him out of jail again.
There was Belinda.
Ah, yes.
What was interesting about Belinda?
Oh, she was in fact a changeling, no?
Yeah, and she's my future wife. Yep.
Well, that too, yeah.
She's involved with the Thieves Guild, I think.
Ah, right.
That's definitely not her real name.
She is. She flicked you a mark.
Layla is her real name.
Layla
I
is
like
her
Belinda
real name.
better.
Well done, Pat.
Yeah, Belinda's nice.
That was
Very
nice.
good.
Well, Belinda is her halfling form.
Oh, they're all different characters. Okay, I like her.
That's
now.
a lot to remember.
Well, you don't know, Layla you would assume is her real name, and Belinda is the name of that particular halfling character that got arrested. You were also in prison with Nobody, and Nobody was in prison with you.
Oh yeah.
We only know him as Nobody. He kept
mofo.
his cloak up. And frankly, he wasn't all that helpful, was he?
No, he was kind of.
No, he was very cryptic and like weird.
Yeah, and he kept going. He kept running away and getting you guys to do all the work.
Yeah.
just
I
like-
think
owned
he's
a lot
just
of
a
ropes.
poser.
He has a lot of
Yeah, he had a lot-
ropes that he filled out. I don't know what those are for. He's kinky though.
Ropes and
But as
chains.
soon as he escaped, he did what?
Fled. He
Sort of.
climbed away.
He didn't climb out of the city. He climbed into the city, onto the roof.
into it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
As one does.
Well, most of
Kind
you,
of Spider-Man-like.
most of you, when running from prison, ran from the city too.
That's true.
He just
No, yeah.
went back in.
Maybe he's an Assassin Creed.
Maybe he is Creed the Assassin.
Maybe.
There were a couple of other important people, important cast to discover. One was a snake called Queenie.
Oh, my queen! There she is.
Also known as Ambrosia's scarf.
Yeah, she's an accessory more than a
You
pet.
met a wonderful donkey, and his alongside
stable
Cornelius's riding horse.
Boy.
Oh, sort of. I mean, he was. I'd forgotten he existed, so don't worry. He's probably not important.
We scared him off.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to possibly create my own spell and turn my horse into an undead horse.
Does your horse have a name, by the way?
No, it's a horse.
This is
Okay.
we can
It's
talk
not
about this during
Cornelius,
session
but-
because we got to name the donkey too. So
Yeah. So that's the thing. There's a donkey and a horse. And then you guys left with the evidence chest, right, for the gold, as well as lots of other stuff.
Oh yeah, we were loaded.
Unfortunately, you didn't get it all that far. Who stopped you on the road?
A group
our
of
new mortal
The
enemies.
A
throat.
group of bandits, yes.
Throats.
The throats. They include Vlaskov, who appeared to be their leader of some sorts. Bonzo, the dwarf.
Yes.
Zico, the bugbear, who was invisible and
Oh,
appeared right
that's
next to you.
cool. He just looks like a werewolf.
Left the gnome. Haji,
now
the
dispelled.
rather
word.
terrifying looking
Yeah,
wizard,
he
looking
did.
lizard folk. And one other. Can anybody remember who the one other was that you did not get a handout of?
No, it's a
Melinda.
mystery woman who will kill us on sight. Supposedly,
It was.
That's all we know.
Yeah.
Mystery woman will kill you on sight, indeed.
But we did learn that Vlaskov had like scars all over his body.
Yes, and the tattoos were painted over the
Covering him.
scars. Indeed.
Yes.
Look at that. Look at that little piece of information. Go you.
He's gonna have a few more when
Um,
I'm done with him.
That the way you said that made it sound like it was the D4s I was handing out to Josh. And you were like, when I'm done with him, he'll have way more inspiration.
I'm just gassing Josh up for the
Yeah,
session. He's gonna
exactly.
do great.
But alas, we are Pondy Road, I believe they call it. Pondy Road. And to all intents and purposes, all right. Right?
For now, at least.
You've wandered away from the throats.
Not dead.
You find yourself in the region of Alpraz. In the region of Alpraz. Obviously, some of you have travelled far and wide, and some of you are fairly local. Who would regard themselves as fairly local? Who's been raised in like the local area, within 20, 30 miles? No one.
I mean, what's the scale on this map?
It should be in place already. Okay, no, 20, 30 miles
Here?
is like in Alpraz.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, okay, maybe 50, 60 miles. Is anybody from the sort of desert area?
Yes, DB is from the desert. He's been all around the
Mm-hmm.
Makavian,
Yeah.
Aw.
but
DB
not
from-
outside of that much.
So, DB, as you are looking around, you would note that you are on the main. It is quite simply called the Western Alpraz Road. And it leads from Alpraz to Albak. There is a little tiny village you're going to pass through on the way, but nothing more important. And you may also continue onwards or change direction completely, as is your wont. DB being from the local area, perhaps you could give me a culture check. If you do not have the skill, you may give me a straight charisma check.
Could I take a short rest as we travel?
Why? Why would I?
So I can use my arcane recovery.
No. Not yet, certainly. You have only
is an
just
8.
come away from the battle. Okay.
Okay.
So DB's not too aware of the customs regarding guards. Frankly, he's been arrested and released from so many different guards from so many different places. He's got absolutely no idea whether the guards will follow you or not. They seem erratic and a beast unto themselves. Who has travelled particularly far and wide? Is anybody from out of Kalan? I believe
I'm from
not.
a little
That's
island
right.
off the coast of Kalan.
That is true. You're about as far away from Kalan as you can get while still being in Kalan. Perhaps this little
Yeah.
map might help you all. I apologize.
You're
I
just an
apologies.
assassin.
Can you put that zoomed in one? Can you make it as a note in here somewhere so I can look at it later? Because it's not that updated version isn't anywhere else. But here.
Oh.
Oh.
all the little names.
You
Like
mean
a
the,
zoomed
the,
in
the
out
zoomed
that-
in one that you just showed us.
okay?
Because this one is on your website, but the zoomed in version with all the other towns is nowhere.
Hold
Is
the
nowhere
telephone.
currently.
Nowhere?
Unless you added it somewhere. You have bits and pieces in the Discord chat, but I don't.
Yeah, I think it's this thing here, isn't it? And then the even more
Is
zoomed
that
is just
is that all you? Is that all the? Well, the one you just showed us was even more detailed than
Yeah,
this.
I will pin that one as well. That's just above it.
actually true.
It's a fruit salad of information you're giving us.
Yeah, they are pinned in the Discord now in the Criminal Intent channel.
Okay,
Sorry, when they're a background map, I can't give them out in Roll20.
No, that's fine. I just wanted
because you
be able to
wouldn't be able
reference
to see anything. Yeah. But I will. Yeah. Well, they're there. One day I'll remember how to code again, and then I'll get the website updated. Anyway, more importantly, let's just go around the table. Our Yuanti friend informed us that she's from far west. Is that right? Over here.
Yes. Right here.
Love that.
Miserable little
Okay.
speck of nowhere.
You come 185 miles to the east to get yourself arrested. That's nice.
That
Nob.
wasn't the main purpose.
I haven't really decided how far-reaching.
You don't need to say
Not-
their names or anything, but
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
you're past.
Yeah. Like Nob's former employer is like Empire, the evil wizard. I imagine.
I
maybe,
can
like-
tell you that you may have spent at least some time, maybe quite
Yeah,
a
I
lot
was
of
gonna
time
say
in the capital and the
Houston-
surrounding two cities.
in the Houston region, exactly, is what I
Yeah.
was thinking.
This
Yeah.
sort of zone.
Mhm,
And Corny, as Pat has so wonderfully dubbed you, Cornelius.
Yes, I'm from this little village up here.
Oh, how cute.
Yes.
Okay, love that. So a couple of you coming from the
looks so
Puriston
cute.
region. So certainly Cornelius and Nob, you would. Ooh, that was a gift sub. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And Jack, welcome into the Quack Pack. Anyway, yes, the two of you from the northwestern region may be inclined to think that guards will pursue you a long, long way, because certainly that's what they do up there. Being from a Yuanti area, Ambrosia, you would be surprised if the guards followed you outside the door of the prison. So
This is not my jurisdiction.
I
yeah,
think we're good.
so you may note that there is a chance that your names have been bandied about for some lawkeeper to retrieve, but 'tis no guarantee.
Yeah. Plus, you guys didn't give your real names, right? Like you gave like a fake name.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, good. Like Nob isn't your real name, right? That's like a fake. That's like a fake name.
Nob's the name.
Oh. Yeah. Are
okay,
you
then.
sure you're set on that, dear?
Yeah, you can be whoever you want. You don't need to, keep that.
I didn't choose it.
Well, no, I mean, you can though. That's the. Well, you never mind.
Well, of course.
It's fine.
Never mind.
But yeah, these guards ain't gonna. I'm an expert. I've been all around here. These guards ain't gonna follow us. We'll be fine. Nothing to worry about. It's behind us. We're all good.
Yeah, and behind you is the throats, so probably don't want to go back that way.
No.
So at the moment you are on the road west to Bellis, and subsequently onto Albach. It is just the Alpraz western road. We have one Pondonkey, is that correct, or two Pondonkey?
One.
Just Ambrosia? Yes, it is Ambrosia that's on the donkey.
With me.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. And Cornelius Pondy Horse. Is that correct?
Yes.
And DB definitely attempted to ride double with Cornelius, but was rudely shied off. Nob has an excellent relationship with the donkey, just not a riding one. Frankly, if there was a riding situation between Nob and Donkey, it is unsure who would be riding who. Yes, the question of top and bottom between Donkey and Nob has not come up yet.
Named it.
Good evening, young lass. A small fifth adventurer walks up, asking where the hell her XP is. And in fact, in about 3 years' time, this small adventurer will be playing Layla.
Wow.
Yes.
One day.
He
As
wants
two of you
all
walk-
our gold.
As two of you walk and two of you ride. What's the sitch? Are we chatty people?
DB has not shut up this entire time. He is just nonstop chatting this entire way.
Great. Love that.
Yeah.
How does Ambrosia feel about that?
Ambrosia's engaging. She likes to chat. I guess I am like studying these other two more. I am just imagining Cornelius and Gnob are more quiet. So trying to get more of a read on them. I feel like I got DB's number. So, yeah, I would just like kind of be lightly prying, maybe. Did we talk about what we did to go into jail? I don't think we did.
We
There has
did
been
briefly.
There has
We did
been
briefly, I
little
think, yeah.
discussion. I think at least one of you proclaimed your innocence. The thing is that the discussion wasn't had with each other. It was more had with the NPCs on the way out, I think. So perhaps a bit less trust. And of course, you've now escaped the throats together and formed a common mortal enemy. So perhaps that will provoke you to be more forthcoming with your histories. But as you are on the road, I will just give you a little bit of random information. First of all, it is currently about 6:30 in the morning on Even Star the 16th.
Oh, wow. I didn't think
Well,
so early.
you broke out of jail at about midnight.
Okay.
So yeah, and in jail, people tend to sleep in the day in the desert lands when it's really hot and it's not really worth doing anything else. Sheltered in the shade, and then come nighttime, it could get very, very cold in the prison. So it tends to be much more difficult to sleep. So you probably have had a day's rest. You could travel for at least another 7 or 8 hours, but then you would be stuck on this nighttime shenanigans. But that's okay. Totally up to you.
I mean, I'm fine being nocturnal.
Yeah, we probably should get to a town though, because traveling in the desert during the day is it's no fun. It's gonna be hot as shit. I'm covered in fur. It's not very comfortable. Isn't that right? Right, pretty boy? He looks to Gnob. Like, it's not fun with all this fur, right? You get hot.
I suppose.
Yeah, you smell a bit. You smell. I don't know who smells worse, you or the donkey. So maybe we go get Gnob a bath. Go get me. Me a bath too. Why not? So we should go find a town.
Yeah, you are out of the desert to the west, which is like a sort of slightly plains-like area, a bit of dry plains, if you will. It is effectively mid-November in terms of time of year, and it does get very, very cold at night. In the daytime, though, this far to the south, it will still reach a decent temperature in the day, even in the winter. But it's not quite as hot as the eastern Makavian desert lands. That being said, there's very little precipitation, very little rain, so it's still dry ground. It's sort of brush, if you will.
Great. How far are we from that town?
Well, do you know?
Over yonder.
So, there's a village that perhaps, I don't think any of you really know about that village. If I'm honest, the players have far more information than the characters. You would know that you're on the road west from Alpra, so you would hit Albak. You would know that there tend to be many small villages, towns, etc. on the road. But that's about all the info you've got.
It's right around the next corner. It's like a mile away. We just got to keep going this way. It's right around the corner, guys.
Okay.
It is worth mentioning
that
even this map doesn't demonstrate the small farms and singular or 2-3 house outcroppings that appear. It does detail where you see a. Are you on the same map as me? That is a point. Yes, you are. Fantastic.
So.
Let's stream in on this secret map thing going on. Yes, so these unnamed places tend to be the lands of individual lords or individual landowners, slave owners, etc. These places in white are villages, so at least 4 buildings probably is a good way of judging that. And then those in red tend to be actual, larger villages, small towns, sort of 10+ buildings. And then your towns can be sort of, 50+ buildings, really. Albach is going to be a big place. Cities are absolutely huge. I promised Mikayla multiple times that I would give her information about the cities and towns. I didn't give anything of the sort. You will get some at some point, but they do have names. You had those anyway. But I do have the population sizes, at least, of the cities to give you a bit of information. So the smallest city in what's this place called? Kalan. Back to this world map. Is Yunwan. Yunwan is Fail up in Yunwan, which is up here. It has about 7,000 people in it.
That's the smallest city.
Yep. Alpraz, which you've just escaped, has about 165,000 people in it.
Cool.
Most cities have under 100,000 and over 20,000. A few big ones are really big. Now, Vinia is very big, about 500,000 people there.
Nice.
Colmhaven, over 1 million. And Galvinia over 3.5-4 million. Much huge. Galvinia's compared to everywhere else, absolutely massive. It's sort of it's kind of that. You'd expect a little town like that to have sort of 500 people in odd. And as for the
Hi.
As for the Tabaxi, what have you been told by Cornelius? You can't just ride other people.
Hey, wait, put me down. Hey.
This is great. I love this interaction. I'm very glad I got a claw in the hand for it. Cool. Anyway, back to the point. You don't know about any small villages, but looking out to the right and left, you will see a little way off the path to the right, a little farm. Farms in these areas that are not orchards tend towards some of the drier produce here. You might find some grown okra. For example, it's something that grows well out here. I love a bit of okra. You may also find the small, slightly darker potatoes that are grown out in this area. No sort of rich cornfields, anything like that. And over to the west, a little bit further to the south, perhaps 1.5 miles off the road, you will see what appears to be a small copse of trees that from this distance you would guess is a citrus orchard of some sort.
Well, I personally would like to rest in some comfort at least.
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna go into like a town, we probably want to go into one slightly bigger. A couple of misfits like us, we may stick out a little bit. Be hard to blend in. So I think either we take a little break in them trees over there.
What? I thought you said we're fine, DB. No one's pursuing. Or
well, I mean,
wanted. In the next town
in a small town, news travels quick. Bad gas travels fast in a small town. We don't want people talking.
Yeah.
Look at this guy here. He points to Cornelius. Look at this necromancer here. Killing people and stuff. I don't want him going into a small town and killing half the people there. Are you gonna be able to control yourself, Cornelius? I mean, I don't know, man. I just met you.
They're still talking on you.
Wow.
That's not a no. That's not a yes. I don't know if he's gonna be able to control himself. See, that's my point. So maybe we need to have a chat. Maybe we go take a rest in that road over there, Ambrosia. I think you're right. Let's have a chat.
Fine. Let's pull over then.
So you're headed over to the orchard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. I didn't know that. As you wander over towards the trees. You'll see, sort of, as I said, 6:30 in the morning, sun be rising, and you will see, wearing naught but their loincloths, 4 or 5 slaves in amongst the orchard, picking at the different trees. One of them is sort of pruning off the lower branches. One of them is right up in the tree, calling down something in a language none of you speak, absolutely yabbering. Down to another person down on the ground. I'll take a culture check from anybody who's proficient, please. And potentially a history check from Gnob.
Oh, sure.
Is Ambrosia the only one proficient in culture?
I think Cornelius is proficient. No?
Naturally.
That's what I'm asking.
I don't have a culture check.
Oh, okay. Just Ambrosia.
23.
Okay. Yeah.
Nice.
Ambrosia, you will recognize the language. Nob, how was your history check?
Just
Or,
a 7.
as chat
Not very
suggests,
good at all.
Gnob. How was your history check?
Gnob.
Yes. It does have a
What
G.
name is that?
Ask Ganache. You would recognize that tongue as the draconic tongue, but in a very sort of slang version, badly spoken version. It really is a yabba, and
And they're not like
no, they appear to be human.
Okay.
Or at least humanish. The two of the slaves that are talking like this to each other. The guy pruning the tree is much shorter, perhaps a halfling. And you will note that there does seem to be a Loxodon slave down below pulling a large cart.
My goodness.
But yes, the
All
two
sorts.
speaking this tongue are speaking this patter, if you will, are speaking a form of the Draconic. And Ambrosia, you would know that originally it was only the kobolds that were enslaved by the gnomes out to the east in the Macavian desert lands. And when others became enslaved, they picked up the tongue of the kobolds. And also the green dragonborn tend to speak this amongst themselves. They are enslaved in almost every country they're in. By culture, if by nothing else. You know, they're seen as criminals in the lowest of. There's a very strict caste system with dragonborns.
Who's
So
in charge here?
I would say that perhaps Ambrosia, you might know a few words, but little else. There doesn't appear to be a slave master on
Oh, okay,
site.
great. So they're
which-
not going to cause a ruckus seeing us, right? You think?
potentially, but you would know that something must keep them there.
Mm-hmm. Can I look around for anybody who looks like...
Give me a perception check.
What's the word I'm looking for? Cracking the whip. Oh, I did bad.
How long has it taken us to
Perception?
travel here? To this point?
Well, right now you've been on the road for probably an hour or two since actually leaving Alpraz, since sort of leaving the city walls, so to speak, after Mishka's tragic death.
All right.
You may have spent another half an hour with the throat, so probably 2.5 hours. In general, you travel between 6 and 10 miles an hour, depending on whether you are walking
Okay.
or whether you are riding. So
We can
because
get to the city.
because you will always travel as fast as your slowest member, which is undoubtedly DB.
I'm a tabaxi. I am fast.
Oh,
I can
that's
move double
perfect.
speed. What are you talking about?
So
Yes.
Knob is way
uh,
slower than me.
Probably Knob by
With his
virtue.
long legs.
Really? Don't you
Well,
also have like 800 athletics?
Yeah, that's true,
Yes.
actually.
You are undoubtedly in Tabaxi or not slower than the
pretty
horse and
quick-moving
donkey, right?
sure.
And I'm pretty sure the hugely athletic, boisterous
Me and-
Bugbear
Me and Knob
could
are having
run.
a foot race.
You
No, we're
don't
having a
look.
foot race.
Yeah, you look like a
Me and
sneaker,
Knob.
not a runner, if you ask me personally. But
Disagree.
maybe that's
my
just a
character.
lot of
He's
fluff.
super athletic. He is
Definitely.
super athletic. I put
Is
that
he?
in the notes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's his strength score?
Wow.
With no proficiency in athletics?
Yes, he is
Interesting.
very fat but very athletic.
Oh, okay. He's like got a
Me
like a
too, Pat. Me too.
weightlifter build.
How
He's
is
like a
your
kung
pers-
fu panda situation.
So I would
Oh,
say
I
that,
love that.
assuming that you are standardly tabaxificated, so you have 30 foot of movement speed and can do the
Yes.
tabaxi shenanigans, I would say that you guys probably travel about 7 miles an hour on a
That's
straight
great.
road, in a straight line. But before we get to Cornelius's question, sorry, Josh, what was that perception check, Mikayla?
Oh, it was bad. 8.
Okay, fantastic. That's not that bad, actually, to be honest. At this point
Okay.
in time, we're all level 1, right?
We're babies.
DCs do start low. But yes, you will note that they...
I'm looking for anyone who might like rat us out or be upset.
You
at our
see
presence.
four people only, these 4 slaves. One, 2 humanoids, one Loxodon, and one shorter, perhaps halfling.
halfling.
All of them are working quite hard. All of them wear nothing but rags. And all of them, you can see their bodies are leathered by the sun. It's a duty they've known a long time. Yeah, you don't.
I think they've got better things to do than worry about us.
Yeah, you don't
think
see.
we're
You
good
certainly
boys.
don't see any reason anybody cracking the whip on them.
Yeah. All right. Let's pull over.
So you head towards the copse of trees, and
Are we talking
yeah.
like tall trees or like?
it's an
just sort
orchard.
of like-
It looks to be citrusy. So these, now that you're closer, you will identify as lemon trees. So not particularly tall at all.
Hmm.
But tall enough for some shade. There are a
Yeah.
couple of taller trees, more tall and straight trees that have a long, thin fruit. Anybody cook? No, you guys don't cook, do you?
I cook. yeah.
Cook a little bit.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Glad somebody does.
Did I? But you don't have the cookery skill, no? Is that correct?
Oh, I thought you meant me. Sorry, I cook.
Oh
like,
yeah, I, mean, I cook too,
even-
Rico.
oh.
But that's
Rico?
oh, fucking hell! I just open the fridge and use my face. In game, nobody is a cook.
I think
I
that'd
will
be
say
cute.
that Ambrosia and Cornelius, you would both recognize this long, thin fruit. It's called the dragon's tongue. It is a very, very rough exterior. And even when you peel it back, it's still pretty rough. But it is the juice that can be squeezed out of the very center is both fiery and cold and refreshing. A little bit like sort of the inside of a cactus fused with chili. Very prized
make a
fruit,
great
very
wine.
difficult to grow. Yeah, I mean, you definitely would find Dragon's Tongue wine. Sure as hell not anywhere local.
No,
but,
I'm reminiscing.
As you look up and note the slightly more valuable fruit that is being grown here, you hear... it sounds like a very angry bird. And indeed, this sort of large vulture-like creature flaps up into the sky quite heavily
I send Queenie into my coat.
and begins to squawk at you.
does
The
this thing
Loxodon
want?
puts down its cart, takes a large stick and comes towards you. As he sees you, you step onto the land. It does not belong to you. Who and why?
Just real quick. As we travel.
Sorry, Cornelius. I did say you can ask later and then completely shut you down, didn't I?
Sorry.
Yes, Josh. As you travelled back then in the
Yeah,
past places.
could I have done my arcane recovery?
No, I did say that was just post. This is only maybe 10-15 minutes after the throats. What did you? When did you do the casting of the what?
Well, wait. What?
You want to
Arcane
arcane recover
recovers a
what?
short rest.
Right? A short rest, a restful period doing little else. I would say escaping
Yeah.
from prison is not particularly
Well, no,
restful.
just the
or do
time
anything
that
else.
we were riding. I thought we were traveling for a couple
You
of
used your things prior to leaving the city. Is that what you're saying?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Right,
you escaped.
okay.
spell slots.
Yes, you didn't use them against the throats.
No.
Mhm.
Right, that's what
No,
I
I
was
didn't,
getting
yeah.
at because you've only had 15
No,
minutes instead.
You almost one-shot me, and then we decided not to fight them.
Yes.
Good.
I have 1 HP right now.
Yeah, that's nice. Cool. So yeah, go on then. Why not? I'm feeling unusually lenient today. For some odd reason. Because the answer really should have been no. Anyway, as you move over here, who be standing on the land that is not his? What is it you want?
Is this your creature? I'm pointing to this squawking bird.
No, he be the bosses.
Oh, okay. It's a trained bird.
Bit more than that. He see through its eye. He hear through its ear.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, the bossy. He will know now. He will be coming.
No,
Okay.
we just need to take. We're on the road. It's real hot out. I'm covered in fur. You know how that goes.
You'll be
just
seeking the
partaking-
shade of the lemon tree.
we just need to,
Partaking
yeah,
of some of your shade.
That's all we need. Just a
You
little
are
break.
seeking the shade of the lemon tree. The boss, he will make you pay, but perhaps only little for
Okay.
man of your means.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
clearly, I'm a man of the cloth because I'm still wearing my priest robes.
Oh,
currently,
that's
right.
right. Me too.
So, yeah.
That is not going to work in your favor.
What do you mean?
And the priests, they be charging many money.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
I changed my clothes real quick.
Oh, we both changed real quick. Okay.
My shift
Thank
weave. Is that what it
Good looking
is?
This
Good looking.
is a truly impressive feat.
You didn't see anything. We were wearing this the whole time.
I flip him a copper.
He looks
You know,
at you,
you
and
didn't see
when you
nothing.
flip him a coffer, and he sort of shies back and lets it drop to the floor.
Oh,
Oh,
Permitted is not.
he
Grapefruit?
cannot be caught with that.
He holds up a
Just-
grapefruit for you.
oh,
You offering?
it
Won't you get
wasn't
in
that.
trouble?
I mean, okay, I guess, and I go to take it.
I'll slap DB's hand. He'll
Ah!
fucking charge you.
That's right.
I did. I mean, I
Boss is
paid.
on the way.
I paid him. You know, I gave him a copper, and
Oh, that's true.
I wanted to
Got
just
it.
give him for to be
How do you
cool,
know it's gonna be 1 copper?
I mean, I gave him money, and then he gave me goods. That I don't usually buy stuff. Usually, I just steal it. But I think that's how it
I
works.
don't want you stealing things from my land. That's
I
for
didn't.
certain.
That wasn't what
A
I
man
did.
comes over. He's got a fairly strange walk. His left leg sort of launches before his right. He's quite a puny-looking man. He's fairly short, very dark brown of skin, and you've just met one. I'm pretty sure you might meet a second. This here is definitely a Kenda. Little unusual to see a Kenda landed. He is clearly in charge here. He wears an opulent robe, a sort of white long tunic with silver and gold embroidered on the outside of it. He has jewels at his wrists and rattling on his fingers, and he has a small cane in sort of white ivory. And you will note it's capped at the bottom with a bit of metal. And he sort of looks to his Loxodon slave, and he says, "Kip, you have done well. I appreciate it." And he takes the copper from the ground, and he pockets it, and he hands the grapefruit. He hands a grapefruit to Kip. "Take rest in the shade, Kip, and enjoy the spoils of your loyalty."
Oh, DB, you bought the
He looks to
Loxodon,
DB.
I bought him a
grapefruit.
break. That's
He
fine.
looks to DB. "There's at least 2 silver for a grapefruit from my lands.
My goodness.
And you wish shade, is this correct?"
I
we're
mean,
just
maybe
looking
not
to take a
anymore.
break, but if it's gonna be that expensive, maybe we'll just move on.
Perhaps we could come to an understanding. Kip here is my only slave of great strength, and I do have something that would perhaps require 2 or 3 of strength. A short job. If you will assist, then you may shelter in the trees and partake in the grapefruit. But if I see you touching the dragon's tongue, I will have you chased from these lands.
I'm no fucking slave, I'll have you know.
I didn't say you were, sir. But paid work. Shade for assistance. This is a trade, is it not? Even to one of your...
What is
Sounds
it
like
he
a-
needs?
Sounds like a good
Gotcha.
deal, Bob.
The lean-to on the outer building has come away in the sun, and the slaves could not put it back. It is their shelter. We could not have them exposed to the sun, so at the moment they are staying in the house. But
Oh.
I would greatly appreciate it, and they would too, if you would assist. Kip will help you. And you will see this sort of huge, long, sort of piece of worked fence with sort of 2 stone pillars has fallen down from the edge of the house. And it's exposed the whole side of the building. As you see these,
Wow.
this is the slaves' quarters. You will see that each slave has a bed and a room of his own, a small washing ewer, a little sort of space for clothing. Certainly these 4 slaves are living better than perhaps at least Gnob, certainly yourself. I don't know about the others, but grew up. DB as well, certainly way better than you would have grown up on the streets. These slaves are living decently. The fact they're wearing a loincloth for their work may now seem only like a practical decision. And Kip will sort of come over, having just gone to shelter with his grapefruit. And I will put off the grapefruit for this. This is a big moment for us. Our privacy has been missing. If you will, your strong arm. Knob, if you are willing. It is just a couple of hands under the pillar.
He will
But it is
begrudgingly
very heavy. Give me an athletics check.
Ooh.
Does anybody else have a means of assistance? Sorry, Josh, go on.
Well, first of all, if we've got a spare 20 minutes, I could try and raise something to help. But I'm assuming we'd want to wait 20 minutes.
Cornelius.
That is the only
please,
reason, yes. The 20-minute wait is the reason.
Yeah. But I was just going to say, as we see that the slaves have a relatively, nice-ish living quarters, Cornelius just he looks thoroughly pissed off. But he doesn't say anything. He just looks very unimpressed with the whole situation.
Gnob,
So,
how was your...
I rolled
athletics
a
check?
19, and I don't know if this counts for anything, but bugbears have powerful build, so I count as one size
Yes,
larger.
yes. If you didn't have that, you would not have been able to try and make the check. Yes, you are really struggling. And as it sort of begins to tilt back towards you, you see the Loxodon sort of shoulder down, really charging at it. The two men will come rushing over. The two darker skinned men come rushing over, sort of putting their hands underneath. They're going to give you a bit of a hand. And it is creaking, and then suddenly it's past the 45-degree mark, and it just sort of flips up. And within moments, you will see the halfling scurry up onto the roof and begin binding the fence back up with rope, getting ready to solidify it.
Dirt off his shoulders.
Can DB try to get up on the roof and help with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Give me
While he's going, I want to look into the windows to see if there's anything expensive as I'm climbing up the side of the
There
house.
must be.
So this is only a single floor.
Okay.
So although it's very tall, there is no second floor. It's a slave's outhouse. They're not.
Oh, I thought it was attached to the main. You said it was next to the main.
The
No,
roof
it's
from the
like
main
their own,
building, sort of, they have a wall, and then the main building, and then, if
Okay.
you will, it sort of comes over and out like a sort of.
Well, if there's no benefit for me, I'm
well,
not gonna.
if you want to try and sort of idle over to the house on that roof, you could
Yes.
look in,
That's what I want to do.
but you cannot do that and appear to be helping simultaneously.
No, like I said, if it doesn't benefit me, then I'm not.
No, okay, cool. So
Okay.
yeah, you don't appear to be helping. You get this sort of up in place, and the gentleman will come over, and you will have the shade, and you will each have a grapefruit. This is very helpful. You are most appreciated.
2 grapefruit.
Sorry, Rico, what did you say?
I said two grapefruit.
He's a powerful man. He needs calories.
He gives a very tiny nod, and the halfling will come and present each of you with 1 grapefruit and Gnob with 2. He sort of looks over at the shelter is under the sort of lemon trees where Kip is sitting, having earned his rest in the shade with the grapefruit. Anybody with a passive insight of 14 or higher?
Oh, 14
No.
exactly.
And one off.
No.
Full Ambrosia today. Ambrosia, give me an insight check as you see his sort of concerned stance.
Who am I looking at?
Uh,
The owner guy?
Yeah, you're looking at the owner, who has not given you a name, by the way.
Oh, 14.
Yeah. He sort of looks and you see that he's debating whether whether he should ask the slave to leave, so that you are not sat in the company of a slave. But you can also see he values his slaves quite highly, and he's given this guy rest, and he doesn't want to tell him he can't have his rest, having just told him he can't have his rest briefly to put a whole wall up, you know.
All right, I'll just try to get this. I'll try to settle his mind. Thank you for your hospitality. We will gladly accept of this shade. Yeah, just basically telling him we're good. He doesn't have to fret over this.
Well, you have an hour.
Just long enough for a short rest. You're too kind.
Another one.
What do you
You
mean?
only do that once per day.
I've been walking.
Cornelius.
I've been walking for 10 miles today. All right, I wasn't allowed to ride a horse. I got shot by those throats. I'm almost dead. I need a break.
You are injured.
Yeah, you know, we run into some cuffs on the
It's
road.
death's door.
Lady Ruston could potentially help you.
Oh,
Lady Reston would be his wife. You would know that straight away.
Oh.
Reston.
Raston, Rastun.
Reston.
She is inside. I will ask her if she will see you.
You're too kind.
And after a little moment, a rather frail-looking woman comes out. She has sort of silver grey hair that falls a little over her face, but it's sort of cracked and dry. You see she walks very gingerly. And she wears a long blue tunic. She comes over to you and... You're the one that is hurt.
Oh, yeah, miss, I got a little roughed up on the road. I've been through worse.
You will go through worse again. But for now,
Yeah, that's probably...
allow me to buy you some aid.
Some bedside manner.
She will give you 10 hit points, which I'm assuming is like 6 times your max.
Nice.
That must be full.
Yeah, I'm at 8. I have 8 total. So, yes.
And considering she rolled terribly as well on a 2d8, she rolled a 5.
She rolled bad.
So,
but
yeah.
that's okay.
And she sort of gently pats your elbow and you walk well in the light. You have very soft fur.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I do try to take care of it.
Warm place. Those I've heard the Tabaxi take shelter in there. Their lands under leather and stone.
Yeah, it's true. And if, we get too hot, we kind of roll around in the dirt, take a little dirt bath, cools us off.
Ugh.
Right. She looks a little confused. You will see that whilst she is short, she is not Kenda short. She appears to be perhaps a little elvish or a little elven, I'm not sure which, in descent, but definitely on the half-elf spectrum, and is aging. She's really getting on in years. The Kenda next to her seems, he's got a bit of a limp and he's old, but not like her. She's real old. But the magic is still hers to call upon. And as she looks out to the rest of you, she sort of blessing on each of you. And she touches you very gently, or if you shy from the touch, she will just sort of stop with her hand near your elbow. And she basically casts guidance on each one of you, which doesn't really have any effect because it lasts a minute and it's concentration.
Someone do a check.
Someone do a flip.
Well, actually, I did want to do a quick sleight of hand.
To do what?
Oh, yeah.
I would like to release Queenie to hunt any roaming squirrels.
Okay. Yeah,
but I don't want this guy to notice.
Definitely a desert creature. Yeah. You could give me a sleight of hand check if you would like. But whatever you get, you will notice that at least one person notices the snake. The Loxodon will immediately sort of look down, see it, and he just sort of almost bows his head in deference to the snake.
Oh, good. Some proper respect. Yeah, she's a beautiful creature.
You will note that he has also, when you start speaking to him, he sort of looks at you and shies back a little bit. He seems particularly nervous of you.
Good. I will smile toothily at him.
Are elephants and snakes mortal enemies in this universe?
Probably.
No. This is definitely an individual. You would know immediately, DB. This is an individual thing, not a racial thing.
So, Lady Reston, you and your husband?
Yes.
I don't want to be presumptuous. Clearly you seem to
Don't
care about.
Don't worry, dear. We've been married 91 years now.
Oh, good for
My
you.
goodness.
That's wonderful.
I settled the Kenda.
Congratulations.
Gives you a little nod. You
they're
would know
wild
Kenda
ones.
are known for their sort of traveling all over the world, and the tricks to snare him young. we were but 17 when we first met. I've been together ever since.
You must have some lovely stories that you can tell about your younger days.
We do.
Seem like you really take care of your workers here. These guys seem to.
Without them, we cannot tend the land.
I mean, you let them stay in your house when their house broke. I mean, I don't know. A lot of people probably wouldn't do that.
I've had Kip here has been on our lands longer than my first child.
Wow.
Long gone he is. Kip's still here. He tended my second. They're like family to us.
That's good for you. It's good to have family, even if they're here and they don't really have a choice if they can leave or not.
Well, we did grant one of our 5 slaves freedom when he asked.
Oh,
The others, they're here by choice.
Sus.
They earned their freedom long ago.
well, you know what? That's good for you. It seems like you got a flourish in business here. The fruit looks beautiful. I hold up the grapefruit. You're doing something right, Lady Raston. So good for you.
Thank you. Very well spoken. Kind.
Name's DB, by the way. Nice to meet you. I didn't introduce myself. I don't want to be rude. I know your name. You should know my name.
She nods. Throughout the entire conversation, she seems very gentle and very caring, but also a little disinterested.
Oh, good.
You can tell that while she's
You're
being
bored.
polite, while she's being polite, she definitely regards you as quite far beneath her station.
I mean, DB would probably agree with that.
These
I
are
am regarding her
landed
the same
nobles.
He's trying to get a feel for her to figure out if he should rob her on his way out the door or not. And it seems like she at least takes care of these people here, and she did heal him, so he's probably gonna not try to rob her at all.
You will notice that she doesn't spare a glance for Ambrosia, and when she cast the blessing on you, she barely she put her hand a little near you and then she walked straight off. Very quietly spoken.
I have not even acknowledged this woman either. I'm waiting
There's a
for her to
certain
walk away.
frostiness. And she does. She will at that point wander back into the house, which takes her a little while. She sort of patters across. The gentleman also sort of lurches on in, and the vulture reassumes its place on the top of the house.
I would have cut my grapefruit open with my sickle. I'm
As one does.
assuming.
Okay.
Yeah, you just put it in the circular gap and
Yep.
just slice it.
Nope, did you
Makes
use a
sense to me.
battle axe?
But, I mean, horses eat apples, so I'm assuming they could eat grapefruit, right?
Apples and grapefruit are pretty different, but why not?
That juicy fruit. I'll
One
feed
is a
some to the
citrus.
horse.
Yeah, the horse sort of takes a bite and goes,
And a very sour
That's how
citrus.
sour it is.
Yeah.
But then munches its skin and all. So the
Yeah,
horse is
I
pretty
think-
happy.
Yeah, as it lays there neighing, I just whisper to it, it's either that or nothing.
The donkey gives you an angry stare. And
Well,
an angry
Gnob,
stare back.
the donkey will come over towards you and start sort of hitting your elbow with its head.
Wow.
Well, I think by this time Gnob has likely finished his first grapefruit that he just ate whole, skin and all.
Wow.
Love that. You and horse, very similar still.
And
Barbaric.
he'll push the donkey back a bit and take the second grapefruit and tear it in half and share it with donkey.
Like Aladdin.
Very reluctantly, the Loxodon sort of looks over at you. No.
Aw.
Kip be pet donkey, yes?
Fuck you say?
Kip, me. I pet the donkey, yes?
Oh.
Oh,
The donkey nice. Donkey friend.
it's not my fucking donkey.
He looks over towards...
Go ahead, dear. Go ahead.
As soon as you say that, he's sort of...
Knock yourself out.
He edges around the other side of the donkey to you, Ambrosia, and very reluctantly sort of pats its very back. Looks a little nervous. He keeps glancing over at you.
I don't know if it's actually well trained or not.
He's not worried about the donkey at
Not
all.
trained.
He's worried about you.
No, I don't care what he does.
And once his hand reaches the donkey and you don't try and kill him, he seems to relax a little bit. You're good. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. You're very good.
Hey,
As
beautiful.
Kip, my friend here is quite nice. You seem to be, really giving her the cold shoulder. She's quite friendly.
Oh,
You know.
DB, how
You are
goes?
so-
Come on, I
You
mean,
are speaking of the serpent. Yes.
Well, she has a name. If I don't know, if she'd care to share.
That is not
but,
for Kip to know.
Okay.
The serpent
I
lady may
agree.
keep herself to herself. And Kip will do also.
Really, it's fine, DB. I'm used to this kind of reception.
This happen a lot? Is this like a Yuanti thing, where you get
It's
this
kind
treatment?
it's kind of a
Well,
compliment.
DB wouldn't know that, Jay. I see.
No,
I see
I
you
was
shaking
giving
your
the
head.
shake to
Nobody's the one.
Mikayla so that she knows what the answer is. No, whilst some people may be a little, it's quite unread. He looks possibly terrified of you. This is not. He's not giving you the cold shoulder. He's terrified of you.
I have low insight, so DB has no idea.
Oh no, that's right. But Ambrosia knows.
I'll just with my pipe, I can make shapes.
Wow.
I'm just gonna make like a big smoky snake and kind of spook him a little.
Yeah, he ducks and hides behind the donkey.
Hey,
bows to you twice.
Finally, some respect around here. Gnob, you're kind of a useful fella to have around. You got us this donkey and this fruit. What's
More than any of you, Colton.
Yeah, good negotiator. You got 2 grapefruits for yourself. That was pretty good. I saw that.
I mean, I
Putting the
got
work.
you the
Getting the
gift of my
reward.
company.
You know what? I could definitely use, some muscle in my new crew. Now. I think you could definitely be useful. I think Ambrosia's right.
As soon as you start this conversation, Kip sort of, having finished his grapefruit, will sort of give another little deferential bow, and he backs away from you, Ambrosia, walking backwards. He never takes his eyes off you. He never turns
Does
his
he
back
run
on
into
you.
a tree? It's
Ambrosia,
funny.
maybe you could be the
Because-
muscle.
And once
no,
he
the other
once he gets well away from you, he will turn back to his duties. Yeah, the rest of you. Sorry, you were saying, DB.
No, I was just saying that maybe we could use two bits of muscle in the new crew here, because guys,
The new crew.
I'm in the market. I'm a
That's-
free agent here. I don't. My last crew, they're dead or something. Whatever.
You're not selling it very well, dude.
Well, I'm alive, so clearly I was the best one. So I got
Your
new magic.
crew.
I got magic powers now. I know
Your
all.
crew, you said.
Well, yeah, the crew I was in before. I've been in lots of crews. You ain't been in a crew before? You look like you've been in a crew. Would you work for before this? Who are you doing?
I was in the employ of a wizard.
Yeah, were you?
Mm.
I mean, you weren't the bookkeeper, I'm assuming.
So you were wizard muscle.
Could say that.
Where's the wizard now? Did you kill him?
I wish.
Hey, you know what? If you got a new crew, may we help you out with that? This guy's pretty good at killing things. I point to Cornelius. He seems to like it. Hey, Corny, you want to go kill some guy for our new friend Gnob here?
You see that Cornelius is like, he's looking at each of you like almost like he's looking at prized pigs. He's like weighing you all, like he's looking at you all like up and down, like, and he's like envisioning like pros and cons next to each of you. He kind of like just ignores everything you just said.
I
mean,
think he's deep in thought.
He's deep in
perhaps.
thought. He either wants to fight me or fuck me. I don't know which one, but I guess we'll find out.
He's a little hard to read, yeah.
Not even I'm stupid enough to try to kill him. I'm talking about his.
Your
his
former
boss.
boss, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine. I mean, there's lots of things that we could do. There's lots of rich assholes that don't deserve the money. These guys here seem pretty cool. We're not going to rob them. I say kind of quietly, but we get to a bigger city. We can find. I think I'm pretty good at spotting marks. It seems like Ambrosia's probably pretty good at that. This guy can
This
make
is
dead people.
pretty presumptuous of you,
Well,
DB.
what else are you gonna do? What are you doing? You got plans?
Technically, no.
Just called her bluff.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it seem like I have other things going on. No, yeah, after this last job went bad, I'm in a bit of a, I don't have the money that I should have right now.
Yeah, me neither. This is exactly it. Like we've already been through something together. Maybe we bonded a little. We got a donkey now. So like, let's make it official. Let's go. group up. Let's go do some stuff. Crew up, guys. You know, come on. DB is
nah.
now like standing like up on top of like the slave quarters, like trying to be motivational about it, like and failing miserably. Yeah,
speech.
but he's like
Yeah.
he's super into it now.
The call to action, I believe, was let's do some stuff.
Exactly.
I've heard better CTAs in my
I'm not
life.
the idea guy. I'm not the idea guy. I'm not the idea guy. I'm an action
turn
man of
away
action.
from this. Gnob, do you have any feelings about possibly working with another wizard? I motion to Cornelius.
He's a wizard.
You didn't notice? He's got that gaudy book.
Not like my wizard.
Oh.
Well, let's get one thing straight. I'm not working for any of you. If we're going into this, it's an equal partnership.
Yeah, no, 50. Sure.
Yeah, that math checks out.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, of course. But you can see Ambrosia's a little.
I mean, look, we did our first job together right now. First successful job. We fixed this guy's house together as a team. You know, and we all equally helped out.
That's how I remember it.
I didn't get a quarter of that extra grapefruit, but we hadn't made that deal yet that we were going to all split the loot equally, so that's okay. But yeah, let's go find a town. We'll go find some marks, and we'll go from there.
Gnob with like just a fucking bunch of grapefruit in his mouth would be like, more grapefruit.
Okay, so you listen. Grapefruits, okay, we don't need to split those evenly, but like gold and
That's
stuff,
fine.
we should probably split evenly. Oh no!
Sure.
Come on,
why
Ambrosia,
not?
your last crew sucked. They got you captured.
Crew is a
All right.
strong word. It was just some guy who I shouldn't have trusted, and well, regardless, I agree. We are probably stronger together, at least right now.
First things first, we need to get the fuck away from Alpres, okay? Because it's too hot. It's too hot there.
I agree.
But I don't. I'm from the desert. I've been to Nalvinia. I've been there a bunch. Pretty big city. That's to the east of here, but I ain't been this far west of Alpres before, so I don't really know what the fuck's going on out here.
Oh, how delightful. Well, there's a lot to see in this world. What made you stick around there for so long? Don't you? I can't stand staying in one place.
Well, it's a pretty big desert, We've been to a bunch of different towns over there. You get chased out of one, and you go find another one. Not a big deal,
Exactly.
You can't help where you're born. But
True.
we can go back there if you want, but I got to be careful.
No. I'll look at Cornelius and Gnob. What do you think, boys? Shall we stick together? At least for the moment.
For now.
Very well.
Can I ride the horse? Can I ride the horse?
How bold.
Get your own fucking horse.
All right, first town we get to, I'll buy a horse. All right, fair enough. I didn't want to push it, but okay, fair enough.
Perfect.
It's an interesting turn of events.
Great.
Okay, you're finished with your hour, and
Short rest.
one
Roll
of
my
the
single hit
you
die.
can click the short rest button. If you were injured, Lady Raston would have healed you to full.
Okay.
Thanks for the two
I
health.
didn't realize that some of you were still
Yeah,
injured.
I was
Okay,
missing
cool.
one.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I get anything back on a short rest
Yep.
anyway.
I was too long.
As you guys, as your hour approaches, one of the two humans comes over. You go. You go now.
We go now.
Yeah.
Thank you again for your
Yeah,
hospitality.
you don't thank me. I did nothing.
No, I meant pass it along to your boss, of course.
Right. Oh, dinner be-ups.
What did he say?
He very sarcastically said to you, over dinner perhaps. in his lilt. He thinks the idea of him passing thanks along to the boss is absolutely ridiculous.
Well, he can keep it then.
You go now. Now.
Onward.
Alright, we start heading out. So,
I'll get up.
are we still heading towards Albak? Albak is the next closest big city, but it's only
Yeah.
500 people that
No,
that are there?
no. Well, sorry. Yeah, at least 500 in a town. That's a
Oh, it's a
town.
town.
It's green,
town.
not blue, so it's a town.
Okay.
It could be
So-
anywhere between
Yeah.
500 and 5,000 a town.
Okay.
That document I just pinged you doesn't help you at all. It's only the cities.
Sure.
So, yeah, you would know, but more than big enough. I mean, you think about the average D&D town's probably a couple hundred people, right? So,
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to
yeah,
get. I want
this is
to
bigger
the
than
next
that.
step above
Um,
that.
yeah, I mean, it's definitely, you would assume, big enough to make trouble in. So,
Where is the next biggest city westbound?
I will take us to a bigger map in a second. But just to give you, once again, the numbers. So this is, Belize would be sort of 4 buildings or less.
We're avoiding that. We're
4 to
avoiding
10
need
in the
stop
red.
there.
Anywhere between sort of over 10 and under 100 in Albak. So it'll be big enough for you to do stuffs. If you want to get into the much bigger city, the next city over to the west is quite a long way over to Ganasville. Alternatively, you could cut down from Albak down the south path, which is a trail as opposed to a road, and head to Onkthul. Or you could sort of, skirt on around to the north to Vordrow.
what is in black? What is Gorham High?
Those are dwarven strongholds.
Oh, we don't know.
Full of riches, and full of dwarves.
Riches.
But we would check out 100% if we tried to go there. Or is it more
there,
likely?
there are almost only dwarves that live there. Very few guests. Sometimes the odd gnome might make their way there, but that's about it.
We are not going to blend
Um,
in a city. We need
You
to
will
be
have
able to
there is
blend. We are
no
a
blending
weird
in
community.
option with a dwarven stronghold. No, indeed. But you might travel for trade, or you might just sneak in and steal some shit and sneak back out. I don't know. Maybe that's your thing. But certainly, I was expecting you to head to Albak, and I would
Okay,
say
then
you'd
I
be
think that's
fine
what-
to create
I mean,
trouble.
like I
there.
was thinking, when we get to Outback, see if we can pick up some news.
bounties or news or whatever. Yeah.
And
think
just
that's
to make you aware, sort of, whilst a journey from Albak to Colmhaven might be, that's a sort of 5 or 6 day. I mean, technically it's a little long because you're going to have to go along the roads, right? But you could easily, 5, 6, 7 days get over to Colmhaven riding. It's not, Kalan's not beyond travelable.
Mhm.
Are,
A
like-
couple of 100 miles. I think you travel sort of, is it 30 to 20 miles on riding speed? If you were all mounted, you could 20 miles a day.
Oh
is
yeah.
Doable. It's quite a tough pace, but
We wanna-
realistically, you guys could pick a place in the world and go there if you wanted. It's not.
Could we get a horse in Albak for DB?
You would assume you could get a horse at any town.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. That sounds like a great stop.
Yet a horse.
I think we go there, see what's up, and then if we make a decision to go,
I would
somewhere else.
say just you decided to head west. Yes.
Mhm.
Unfortunately,
we
I don't
can't-
have. Go on.
We can't go east. We can't go back to. We can't go on the other side
No,
of Alvarez because
no,
it doesn't
no
make
way.
sense right now. So we
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could easily just head south or north, but yes, I mean, heading west.
It's
Makes
all
sense right
random
now.
at this point.
I
We know
don't.
what any of
Yes,
the towns
exactly.
do.
I don't currently have our Go West theme tune from Sunday, unfortunately, so I cannot give you our Venga Boys. Is it? I think that
Yeah.
we normally have on Sunday every time these guys say they're going west. Yes. Please tell me
I
don't
was just
go
gonna
east.
say, as we like start getting ready to leave, I like go on my horse and I take one last look out there where the slaves like chill and go to bed and stuff like that. Like the grip on my like reins gets like really tight, and I just like, yeah, like
Damn. Do I notice
He-
that?
he's sprinting.
You notice him take off. He really sets a good pace. I mean, not a matchable pace for DB and Gnob.
Yeah.
No, I think we're just
I
taking
don't
our
mean,
time.
I don't mean to like run off. I just like
He's run off already.
Well, I'm assuming you sort of
we'll
spur down
catch
the
up.
road.
yes,
And then slow
we'll
down.
Slow down.
Let's-
Yeah, I just
let's
don't want
get
to
a
look
move
at
on now.
this.
Like,
Yeah.
well,
Let's
okay.
go.
He was. I thought he was like leaving us. So okay, I guess he's still.
I will say, Ambrosia, with your notes, that with your insight, you definitely notice that there's something that's disgruntled the Cornelius.
Yeah, Cornelius is so mysterious, so I'm keeping an eye on him.
Yeah, I think he just really hates grapefruits. I don't know.
He seems, young and hot-headed.
All right, Ambrosia, what are we gonna call? If we're gonna be traveling with this donkey, what are we gonna call him? We got to give him a name.
Oh,
Is it a girl? Is it a girl donkey or a boy donkey? I
I haven't checked. Nob, you have a close relationship with this creature.
Nob, you would have
You-
noticed already that it's a male.
Nob will sort of give it like the strange ass look. What do you mean?
You were the one that
Easy.
tamed it. And
You tame
fed
it,
it
you
a
name it.
fruit.
You tame it, you
Damn
name it.
it, you
That's the-
name it.
Do you
That's the
care
rule.
what it's called?
No.
Well, I guess the honor falls to you, DB.
Let's call it Knob. Call it Knob Junior. You said you didn't care. You said you didn't care.
Pat's internal need for mischief just came out right there. He was like, "You said you didn't
Oh.
care. Nob, it is."
What
Okay,
We'll
about
call it. We'll
I'll-
call it good.
I'll
We'll call
take-
it good knob. Good
I'll
knob.
take a good long look at the donkey.
how about Clarence?
I'll call him Fred.
Fred
You know-
Clarence?
You know what, big guy? Fred, it is. Fred Clarence, FC.
When
FC
you
the
say
donkey.
Clarence, Ambrosia, the donkey genuinely tries to bite you.
Oh, he doesn't like that.
He didn't like
Fred.
that. Fred was good.
Fred.
He continues on with his fretting. I'm very amused at your guys' aim for Alpraz because before that you're gonna come on Belize. And Belize is a small little farming town, a little river around. But what is very noticeable to you all is there is a very large paddock at the side of this town.
What?
A paddock for riding horses, donkeys, etc. And a decent sized stables. You will see one very big building at the center of town. You would know that is not a noble house. That is an inn or tavern.
Wow.
And indeed, you will see already a few people sort of wandering up to the stables, the edge of the paddock. One appears to be walking a horse sort of round the paddock. Anybody got a merchanty background at all? Anyone got a tradey background?
Shinty?
Yes, I worked for an artisan.
Does trading drugs count?
No. Artisan's not going to help you much either.
No.
The stealing from merchants count?
Yes, but not perhaps in this. Not perhaps in this instance. You
If
will
that
note.
counts, I
That,
should roll a disadvantage. Sorry.
you will note that perhaps there. Oh no! Go do the thing. Thank you. It seems like a market for horseflesh.
Flesh.
As in, no, that doesn't mean they eat them. These are good horses
That's what we
that
thought.
may fetch a good
That's
coin.
what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we need like the leftover.
DB. We might get your horse sooner than we
You know, the
thought.
sign says horses, donkeys, and etc. And I'm kind of interested in the etc. part. Maybe they got something else cool in there.
Maybe like a large flightless bird.
Yeah, something, anything.
Yeah, totally. You can ride an ostrich. I'll allow that. Always honest.
Yeah.
Jack's already forcibly established emus in my world, so why the hell not?
Yeah, no, I heard tale. I mean, from the desert, we used to have these big birds, like they were called emus. That could be fun.
Oh.
You
Did
just
you
live in the
ever ride a
desert?
camel?
They're in the fucking jungle in Galania, but
I don't
Oh,
know. In
no.
the real world, they're from
Different breed,
Australia.
different
I don't know.
I don't know. Australia's got everything over there.
DB's lying. DB's lying anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Great. You definitely see that it's almost all horses. There do appear to be a couple of donkeys, but they appear to be working at the place, not for sale.
Do you have any
Um,
ponies?
No.
Oh.
Almost exclusively horses. You will see some really sort of large draft horses and some squatter short horses that appear sort of desert horses that appear bred for slightly smaller races. You will know that most of the people in the desert tend to be quite short anyway. It's owned by the Nomish, most of the Makavian desert lands, and they would ride these shorter desert horses. So definitely not too small for you. If you're looking for something smaller. Yeah, but
Anything striking your fancy?
You know, I'm a
DB?
little worried. These are real nice. I'm a little worried they're going to be out of our price range here, but you know,
You
Corny
have to
won't
approach
share.
things with confidence. Let's
I mean,
assume we can
we
afford
could just
them, and
take,
if not,
we could just take one. You know.
we take steps after that. Let's
Okay.
go inquire.
okay. Yeah, as you head on over, you will notice there's a little sort of jostling going on. There's a few quite finely dressed people who are standing right back, and it seems their agents or their representative is the one sort of nosing about. You will see that most of the people you're brushing shoulders with are slaves, who appear to be making purchases on behalf of their owners. But as you guys sort of step up, you will see there are also some common folk. In fact, there's one farmer who... I need me 2 draft horses! I do! 2! And he's shouting over everybody else, and the slaves are sort of jostling, and they're holding up these little slips. They're like pieces of wood on a stick with a number on the side.
And what is going on here?
You know, I think it's some sort of auction. Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, let's see. Can we see how much these horses are going for?
No, you can't. In fact, every person who has one of these wooden things with a stick appears to already have purchased their horse and is now collecting it. And eventually, as he goes, I need 2 draft horses! And one of the men who works there comes over and says to him, the purchasing house is just over there, sir. And points towards quite a small building with a very orderly queue leading up to it.
Oh God, we gotta go wait in the queue. Oh my God.
I think.
Excuse me. Clicks at you, DB.
Wow. Who
You talking
who's
to me?
clicking at DB?
You talking to me?
You here? You look lost. You don't know the process.
Yeah, no. What the hell's going on here?
Okay, so you choose your horse. Those who have numbers on them are claimed. Those who don't have numbers on them are claimed. You'll see that like they've got like cloths over them with big numbers written on the side. Those who don't have been claimed already, and they are now being bought.
Sure, and then you'll do the butcher in here for us. Like you'll chop them up and wrap them up for us. I'm just fucking. I'm just fucking with you. I'm just fucking with you. I'm just fucking with you. Come on. Have a sense of humor.
He gives a proud sniff at you.
Apologies, my.
You may
friend,
walk
he's
the
a
horse if you
little-
wish, but not ride
He's not
it.
from around here.
Clearly. After you have made your choice, you will take your number. You will go to the purchasing house. You will tell them which number you wish to purchase, and if others wish to purchase the same number, you will bid against them. After that, you will purchase. Once you have your ticket, he demonstrates one of the gentlemen who's currently handing over one of the slaves who's handing over the board and stick. You may take the horse with you. We have over 70 horses here.
Plenty to choose from.
And you will see that there's not only this large paddock, but there is a stables to the side, which appears to sort of be very like the horses are sort of very closely stabled in together. You would go over, if you wanted to walk one of those, you would take it out to walk it around the paddock. So all the horses in the paddock are either for collection or have just been walked or just about to be walked. If you want to inspect the horse flesh, you must go into the stables. And indeed, over by the stables, you will see a very large, frightening-looking minotaur with a halberd and a horsewhip, who appears to be in charge of the visiting of the horses.
Not Ganesh.
He
He had a
already got
great axe,
job.
not a halberd. And if he overtook you on this road, having fought half of the fucking Alpres, it would be impressive.
He's just that cool. I believe in him.
This is Ganek. Different.
Okay. I'm keeping an eye on that crusty old man who was buying 2 horses.
His name's Garumpy. Yes, he's sort of, having now been told what to do, he goes back to the purchasing house to purchase himself 2 draft horses. He doesn't seem to be particularly interested in looking at them. Cornelius, sorry, go on.
Guys, do we want to go through this whole thing and get a horse, or it seems like a lot of effort? We could just like
Seems
steal
like
one.
a lot of effort.
Let's just
Is
go
this how
wait
you
for
got
them.
your horse? I'll ask Cornelius.
Wait, what? Sorry, what'd you ask?
Is this how you got your horse?
No. I was gifted it
By who?
Adido.
by someone who has passed away.
Sorry
So
to
you
hear
killed
that.
so you killed someone and took their horse. Is that what you're telling us? You're just saying it like in a weird way.
No. They died. They no longer needed it.
What's your horse's name?
It doesn't have one. It's a
Oh,
horse.
he doesn't even know the name. You definitely stole that
How
horse.
about
It's fine, man. We stole this
Clarence?
donkey. Oh, you know what? That's a good one.
As you
What
start to
is
say this a little louder,
Clarence?
people start to, hear what you're... Start giving a few of the slaves giving you little odd looks.
I'm making a scene, 100%.
As you are casing the joint, one might say, who's the
am.
resident perceptionist here? Anyone proficient in perception?
Yes,
Yeah, I'm proficient.
I'm at
like-
13
Oh.
passive. 13 passive.
Good.
Just you two are
That's
proficient.
well.
Anyone else proficient? Josh, Mikayla,
No, I've got 13 passive.
and Mikayla not proficient either.
Not proficient.
Okay, Pat and Rico, if you both want to give me a perception check. Looking for slightly
Aye,
different things here.
Great. Good.
How did you do?
17.
7 for
Seven for
Gnob,
Gnob?
17
Okay,
for DB.
so no, you will note that the Minotaur is at the front of what appears to be a sort of double-gated stables. The stables is fairly large. He said there was 70 horses that could be stabled there at one given moment, right? So big stables, sort of long. Do you know those like the farm buildings that you see that are sort of really long and quite narrow?
Yep.
They just go on forever, basically. It's a bit like that. Huge double doors at the front, Minotaur in front with a halberd. He seems to have the keys, and there's a padlock that he unlocks. So it goes in, gets the horse. That doesn't. You don't see him talking to anybody else. He seems in charge of it on his own. DB, with your 17, you will note that the roof doesn't meet in the middle. It is open to allow sort of rainwater and air down into the stables. And you would assume that there is a back door to the front door. Horses coming up both ways. And indeed, you do see one horse being led by a trainer to the back door and sort of put in at that side.
Are
So
the
it seems
doors
like
on
a
the
one
short
way.
side or the long
They're on the
side?
short side. So you've just got the very long building, doors at either end, open roof. You will see that there's a lot of people coming and going. It's still early. It is
It's like midday, right?
about 11:30 in the morning. And I will. Ooh, I wonder if you guys know a thing. Perhaps you know a thing. Anybody actually religious? Character. No.
Let me double check the questions I answered.
To Sebastian. DB does pray to Sebastian.
Oh, that's so
Oh, that's true.
That is on my character sheet. Who he
Yeah,
prays
yeah,
to
that
is
is
on my
true.
character sheet.
So DB,
Just
you can
in
give me a religion check.
Here we go.
I have a -3 to religion, but
That's
you know,
okay.
here goes.
You'll do great.
You never know. You never
That
know.
is
Yeah, I
okay.
don't fully worship.
Okay.
It's a 10.
Religion
for
check
me.
as well, please, Cornelius.
Oh, okay.
I don't fully worship, but you know a bit.
Well,
Cornelius is a smart
sure,
guy.
about a specific god, but yeah.
Yeah, but you're smart. You know you've read some shit.
That's 14.
Yeah, so both of you would know. The 17th of Even Star is Perseus' day, which is one of the constellation gods. And on Perseus' day, who is a very martial god, he's sort of soldiers, generals, etc. There often tend to be jousting competitions. And you do see some of these horses are being picked out for jousting. You see some fairly well-armored knights at the side, sort of eyeing up the horses and then talking to others who are then, working on their behalf. Whilst this village may only have sort of 7 or 8 buildings, it's clear that the foot traffic here exceeds 200 or 300 people on a regular market day. This is something that's
And it's the day before a horse holiday.
exactly. So lots of purchases today. Very busy. I don't know what that means, you guys. I don't know whether that means it's a good idea or a bad idea
means
to
a
attempt
Yeah,
anything
lot of-
I'm
silly.
trying to figure out.
Lots of
like-
guys.
But
More cover
bon
or
chance,
more-
my friends.
What do you
Um,
think? What are you thinking, DB?
Can I perhaps suggest that you guys sort of idle over towards the inn or purchasing house, where you might talk a bit more quietly, as opposed to nattering in amongst
Yeah,
these
we're
slaves?
going to be somewhere
Cool.
less popular.
Head over towards the inn. You see a hanging sign, which is called Zephyr Shoes.
Zephyr shoes.
That is the inn name. Yeah, just the Zephyr shoes.
Yeah.
All one word.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
let's head on in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
you have
let's
it-
get a-
okay.
Let's get a corner booth. Wait, no. Hold on. I don't want to head on in. Sorry. I'm keeping an eye on that guy who is buying 2 horses.
Okay, perhaps the rest of you might get a table at the inn while
Yeah,
Ambrosia
yeah,
does a
yeah.
little recce.
Mhm.
Yeah, Ambrosia, we'll follow you first. You head over towards the little purchasing house, which is sort of this building here, if you will. Very small building, and there's a little sort of quite tall stool, and a very little mouse folk stood on top of it. Grey hair. He's holding this sort of strange rod in his hand, and he keeps turning it and turning it. And you will note that as he turns it, figures are appearing on the wall of the building outside, as he sort of is basically continually upgrading his minor illusion
Whoa.
to be sort of on the wall. And as he turns it, he's speaking to the next person. Your number. Oh, okay, very good. 516. Anyone else for 516? Anyone else for 516? No one else for 516?
Oh,
516.
wow.
Fantastic. 6 silver pieces. 516, 6 silver pieces. Next. You, over there. And as he gets to the man with the draft horse, the man says, 2 draft horses. You know the numbers? No. Right. 2
God
draft
damn
horses,
it.
any pick. 2 draft horses, any pick. We'll take 41 and 26. 41 and 26. Anyone for 41 and 26? No, great. Okay, bidding starts 1 silver piece, 41, 26, 21, 26,
Horses
41,
are more
41.
affordable than I
You
thought,
see one
but I
person
still
sort of
don't
raise
wanna
his
pay.
hand, and it's sort of like 2 silver. I got 2 silver. Anyone for 2 silver? 2 silver, 41, 26, and the bidding keeps on going until eventually it reaches 12 silver pieces per draft horse, and that is where that farmer sort of wins out. You will note
Beautiful.
that. Well, actually, maybe you won't. Give me a culture check.
Ooh. 10.
Yeah.
No, sorry. 12.
Okay. The 2 who were bidding against the farmer do not seem old enough to own a horse.
Yeah, I think they're just driving up the price.
They're just pissing about with people. Yeah, they're just screwing people. That's all they're doing. You notice them
well.
quite quickly, and seeing you, they'll give you a little sly wink.
I'm about to screw this guy even more.
Cool. So yeah, he goes off with his little 2 sort of numbers on sticks, and you'll note sort of a very, very muscular Leonin sort of come and stand next to the man. No, sir. He nods, and he takes the 2 tickets. Go. And he sort of points, and the man sort of nods, and then the Leonin sort of ambles on over with his 2
What?
sticks and numbers. It does
He's got
appear.
a servant too?
It's a slave, definitely a slave. Very cheap slave, obviously completely thick as shit. Heading on over. But then it's Leonin, heads over to collect his 2 draft horses.
Great.
The Leonin stands well in excess of 6'6". Very muscled.
Sounds handsome.
Yeah. He's got a fair few scars. But he's all
Yeah,
right.
Ambrosia's into that.
Women like scars.
Anything else, Ambrosia?
I mean, how long does it look like he's going to be in line? I kind of want to
He's done.
confer with my party before I... No, the guy who's collecting the horses.
Oh, like easily an hour. 45
Okay,
minutes to an
great.
hour
Then
if
I'll
he
go
doesn't
sit
toss
with
up.
the guys until
Okay.
he gets close to the front of the line.
Yeah. You head into the tavern. This is a regular drinking hole, one might call it. Small wooden tables surrounded by many chairs, lots of people standing to drink. You will notice there are a couple of sort of slightly raised dais with a couple of half decent tables. But it's a pretty rough place. At those, I don't know what's going on with the music. It's not playing, and it's really distracting me. Sorry, give me a second. Let's try this one. Okay, cool. Right, and it goes. You will note that on that raised dais there is a very well-to-do man in a dark purple robe and a large cloak, and everyone around him appears to be a slave or servant. And behind him stands a silver dragonborn, a beautiful sword in his back, a shield sort of lazily strung around his left arm, and he stands rigidly attentive behind the lord. The Lord sort of giving sort of disdainful looks at anything and everything around him. Other than that, these are regular worksfolk and townspeople, and as you sort of idle on in, you get a few odd glances, but nothing else. The three of you, Ambrosia's not with you. As the three of you come in, you'll spy one free table that a couple of people are just getting up from. And a guy goes to sit down and sort of looks at it more close and steps away from it.
I'll
table.
head over to whoever looks like they're serving the drinks.
Yeah, there's 4 members of Inn staff at the moment. And you'll notice that at one end, they are just serving sort of large pitchers of water and cups. At the other end, they're sort of serving ale by the tankard, just constantly just ale by the tankard. And the 2 in the middle are dealing with anything else. Well, everything else, really.
Okay, I'll go to the ale person.
Yeah, and you just see him sort of copper. He's taking copper shards for an ale.
Yeah, I'll head on up, and I'll just with a very big smile, very chirpy aura, be like, "Hi, nice to meet you. 3, no, 4, please."
Right.
What the hell is
You
going
too.
on here?
Hands you. He literally puts his hand out, takes the 4 copper shards. You don't need to mark them off your character sheet. Puts 4 tankards in your hand, and then immediately turns to the guy after you.
Yeah, I'll collect them all. Pleasure. And I'll turn on my heel and head on over to the table and a little bit aggressively clunk them down.
Give me a perception check as you walk away.
I'm sorry, I'm not there to witness this.
15.
15? Yeah. As you walk off, you do hear one chap go, "Where's he think he is?" As you were so polite. But yeah, you get over to the table, you thunk down the 4 mugs. DB and Gnob, as you approach the table, you did note that one other couple went to sit there and then moved away.
Mhm.
Give me a perception check, see if you can work out what the fuck that's about.
Did they just see me? I wonder.
21.
18.
Yeah, both of you look over and you see a second fairly well-dressed noble come in, a little way behind you. But seeing your inquisitive looks, he sort of puts his hand up as if to indicate he doesn't want the table. And he actually heads over himself, with a servant at his side, heads over to the bar himself, which is unusual for noble folk. But it's clear he doesn't want the table. The 3 who thought about sitting there and then didn't because of him are now looking a little frustrated that you're closer than they are. They don't look like they're going to start a fight, though.
We sit down either way. We're 100%.
Yeah, I'm going over and just
Great.
claiming the table.
Yeah,
Ignore
first when DB sits down, you see one man sort of jostle towards, and as Gnob sits down, he just sort of backs the fuck up again.
I give him a shit-eating grin on my
Yeah.
face.
Then he sees Cornelius sort of come over and put some drinks down, and there's 4 drinks as well, and he's like, "Yeah, we can't deal with this." The 2 of them eventually just decide to sit on the floor, lean against the wall. As the 3 of you sit in the tavern, what are you doing?
2 for me.
What?
I'll
Wait,
grab-
what'd you say?
I said two for me, and I'll grab 2 of the tankards.
If you want to face Ambrosia's wrath, then yes.
Yeah, did you guys notice that Kip was super
I let
afraid
go
of
of
her?
him.
That was super weird, right?
Perhaps she gives off an aura.
I guess so. This whole horse thing is pretty complicated. And how close are people to us? Can we whisper?
Not.
And,
Not. It's they're sort of 2 or 3 feet away, but people are so loud and all chatting in their own little circles.
Yeah.
It's the sort of the privacy of the public, safer than a quiet corner.
So guys, if we just we don't really need to buy a horse. We just get one of those slips from one of the guys waiting in line, and just take that horse right away. We don't got to pay for nothing. Just got to get that slip.
Do we need 2 horses?
You need a pretty big one, right?
You can ride a war horse or a draft horse.
you
If
trying
you
to
are.
say?
Are you large in size, Rico, or are you medium?
So I'm counted as a medium creature.
Oh,
but I
yeah,
am,
so you can ride you can ride a riding horse or a draft horse
or-
or a war horse. You couldn't ride a pony. or you wouldn't want one of those little desert horses. That would be squat. Your feet might touch the ground.
So
Yeah.
cute.
I mean, so we would have. We don't know what any of the horses look like because we haven't been in the barn yet. But we could get some ideas on their numbers, and we could just take some slips, call it a day.
Ambrosia, just to add one thing before you then come into the tavern, you would have seen that when he sold the horse, he inscribed the number onto the wooden plaque. And
so he has blank plaques then. Up there.
Sort of. You will note that there is definitely, he is inscribing it magically using that stick, or a second stick. It does have quite an unusual sort of, you wouldn't be able to forge it easily, the lettering or numbering on it. If you wanted to seal a blank plaque and write on it. You would definitely get an indication you'd need to seal one from somebody who is holding one.
Right.
No problem.
Cool. Ambrosia, you can now come into the tavern. You see that there are 4 tankards on the table. You know there's probably 2 for Gnob.
As soon as she sits down, I'll slide it over to her.
So,
Okay. I look at it a little disdainfully. Thank you. I'll take a light sip. Gentlemen, your horses are all but secured. There's a big stupid Leonin in line, and I figure we can hang out here while he, waits in the queue, and we'll just help ourselves to those little sticks.
Yeah, you think we can?
I've seen
take
his
them off?
How many do you go?
He's got 2 for 2 draft horses. You think you can handle a big horse like that, DB?
Absolutely. Or you could take the big one. I could take the donkey. Lady's choice. You did
That's
put the work in
That's
there.
the second look of disgust that Gnob has given Ambrosia. She's like, what?
Well, I've seen his master. I can just, look like him for a moment and then send him off.
Oh, that's actually way easier than what I was thinking. Okay, yeah, no, that's great.
Well, what were you thinking? I'd like to hear you.
No, it's okay. You got the plan. We don't need to get into specifics.
I'm interested
We'll save the plan another day.
Okay.
And we'll go with your plan because it's it's a good plan.
Yeah, I figure we can kill a bit of time here. The line was just dreadful and it was getting hot out there. But, yeah.
I mean, do you need us to cause a distraction or anything?
Can you just state your intentions very plainly so that I'm understanding what's going on? Because I'm a bit confused.
I'm
right
gonna
now.
disguise self as his farmer boss and then tell him, give me those sticks, collect the horses, and run away.
Okay, cool. That's a bit honest. Right, okay.
Yeah. What did you ask, DB?
I said, do you need us to cause a distraction or nothing? No, you're gonna go on your own. What's my role?
I mean,
this
maybe
whole thing?
just make sure that farmer isn't anywhere nearby, but otherwise just be ready to ride out of town immediately upon receipt.
Okay. Yeah, point them out. I can do that.
Yes.
Where did we put our horse and donkey?
I assume at a little stable.
When you in the inn, there is a very small section where you just literally just tie them.
Sort of tie them up, yeah.
There's no
Yeah.
security on that.
We may want to get on, potentially go down the road a bit on them. Whoever's not part of the plan to get a head start, so we're not all leaving together.
I'll look over at Cornelius, give him the nod.
A nod.
As you nod up, he nods down.
Wow.
See, they already got the signals going. We're already
got
a crew.
secret
It's already a crew.
communication system. I love to see that. Well, yeah, I'll just look around this place. See the crowd.
Yeah, this one guy kind of gave us a little bit of a stink eye. People seem to be a little afraid of him, and I sort of, indicate the noble that walked in to Ambrosia.
Oh.
Yeah, he's now over. Oh, the noble who
Is he
was
not
sat down,
famous?
or the noble who
The one
stepped
who
up?
didn't want
the one who didn't
want
want to sit down and went to get his drink.
He's arguing with one of the
Oh, he's causing a
servers
scene.
at the inn. No,
Maybe
it seems
here
like quite a quiet and torrid argument. It's not, it's not like a sort of a shouting match. It's It's a very sort of...
Not crashing out.
Whisper yelling. Whisper yelling.
Well, he's just sort of gesturing quite profusely and pointing to a couple of people and... Yeah.
Ugh, I'm dying to know what they're arguing about.
You want me to go check it out? All right, next round's on me. Boys. And I'll go sidle over and try to get an ear on what this guy's whisper yelling about.
Yeah, he was promised food. That's it.
All right.
He's promised food, he hasn't got it. He's very
I get
confused.
4 more beers.
He's being
super
so he's
boring.
just being a quiet
He's
Karen
just-
right now.
He's just being a carrot. He's just
Well,
complaining
no,
about
I mean,
the
he
he's-
was
service.
being a
sort of-
Karen, but I thought he would be louder.
Let's elaborate a little bit. He will sort of say, you know, well, I've paid. I've paid the tavern owner. I paid for breakfast for me and all my men.
Oh wow.
And now nothing. You know, we've come a long way. We stayed last night nearby at a couple of houses. It's been a long morning. We didn't get breakfast this morning. We're going to be here for, I don't know, 6-7 hours. We're going to be generating a lot of business, not only for, you know, here, but for your tavern. We brought 21 horses for sale.
Oh wow.
Do
This guy's a
you
sales
understand what that's worth? Do you understand what the breeding that goes into these? You can't just... food was promised. We booked ahead and everything. So I want to know exactly what you're going to do to remedy the situation. The innkeeper's just sort of... the inn service is going sort of... The boss will be downstairs shortly, sir.
That
Please,
last
if you could
one
just...
was upsetting to me.
if you could
as
just
someone
wait with
who's
me.
worked in food service a long time.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do to make this right? Ugh.
And after a while, you will see, DB, as you are queuing for the ale now, you'll see a gentleman come down the stairs, sort of profusely fat man, very, very portly. He walks sort of a little, almost drunkenly down the stairs, 11:30 in the morning. And he sees this going on, and one of the server goes over immediately to him and begins explaining the situation. He walks over, sort of pulls his greasy hair to the side, and it'll be ready soon. Where'd you want it? And sort of, well, I was expecting breakfast sort of almost 3 hours ago, but we can set up some tables outside. That's no problem. But I've got a lot of men to feed. You know, there's 25 of us here. Each one, you know, we brought 21 horses, and that's not even counting. You know, I'd like to feed the slaves too. You know, how long is it going to be? And the man just sort of
Not even counting the slaves.
sort of nods with his head. Come, we'll do the food immediately. And you see him sort of rifle through his pocket. He pulls out a fairly expensive-looking leather pouch and takes from it this tiny little wand, and he extends it out to its full length. The hugely fat man, sort of very squeezing it between his podgy little fingers, and he goes out the front, and he doesn't even walk all the way out the door. He just sort of leans halfway out, and he just goes, "Huh! There you go. Breakfast is served." Turns around and sort of almost bumps into the nobleman on the way back in. And he comes lumbering across the hall, a little drunkenly. "You! I barred you a week ago. Look it." Then he goes sort of back up to the stairs, and then he thinks again, he comes back, he takes 3 tankards of ale, and then he goes back up the stairs. You see him already sipping one as he's going up the stairs.
Jeez.
Epic.
Just from the door, the 3 of you just hear,
What
but
did he do outside?
you could have at least put them on tables!
Yeah, can I peek outside?
Guys,
please?
that guy's like a breakfast wizard. I don't know.
A breakfast wizard!
A lot of power.
You go out and you see that he's basically gonna summon food and drink, but just onto a space. Some stuff
it's
is
all
on
over the floor.
platters, some isn't. There's like huge loaves of bread, wheels of cheese, hunks of meat. You know, it's just spilling over everywhere. It's like he summoned it onto one work table outside, but it was just too big. Platters are floating sideways. The slaves are sort of moving in and sort of trying to sort of become tables, most of them. The slaves sort of kneeling down and holding the
My
food up for their
goodness.
lords. And then you see these horse masters, and they are clearly horse masters. All of them dark of skin, black eye, sheen, sort of a sheen of beautiful hair. It's very quickly obvious that this entire group of people are almost all Kalishtar. And the whole group sort of move as one. They're wearing, you know, leathers, skirts. They've obviously put their horses into the stables, and they begin to come over, take the food. And this man, who's not ostentatiously dressed, but well enough dressed that you know he's a noble, sort of moves about and starts, has everyone eaten? Has everyone eaten? You, Ragir, have you got something to eat? Have you, he's going amongst the men. You can see that whilst he might not really care about the slaves, he's very respectful for the horse masters, who are clearly in his employ. DB, you get 4 ales. You don't need to mark it off your character sheet. And you may all return to the table and resume discussion.
On service. Well, while I'm peeking outside, can I see how close the Leonin is to the front of the line now?
He's looking a little confused. And he's facing the wrong way.
Okay, I'll come back to the table. Well, we might have to enact that plan soon.
I need to get that breakfast wizard's magic wand. I mean, look at those pancakes out there. Look amazing. I don't know. He looked pretty drunk. I think I can go up there and just take it. Like he's probably passed out by now.
Probably.
I'm gonna go take a look. I'm gonna go pretend I'm looking for the John. All right, and I'm gonna go wander up the stairs.
As you approach, sort of, there's a line, like the bar, and then like there's the ale, and then behind that is the stairs up. As you go to walk around one side of the bar, one of the man serving water sort of looks over at you and, "Can I help you?"
No, I'm good. I just keep walking.
He nods,
up the stairs.
carries on serving water. Doesn't pay you any further attention.
I go upstairs to see if that guy's passed out.
Give me a stealth check as you go up.
I was throwing you a bardic when I said good luck. Also,
Okay.
Ooh.
my last one. So we have to go to bed.
I will absolutely throw a card on top of this. I got an 11.
Okay. Yeah, deal out your card. Count your blessings, not your problems. Give me your D4. Okay, with a 13.
Wait, a bardic? What's the bardic? Or is that enough?
D6.
D6.
It's up to you.
Sorry.
Okay.
My heart's
With a 14, you can hear a woman sort of shouting at him, "What do you mean, Marcus? You were meant to get the tables out and everything. He's an important man. He's got many horses. He brings so much business to the town. You can't just go summoning breakfast on the floor. You're a state. Look at the state of you." And as she's shouting this, you sort of approach up the stairs behind her. And you see that he's just sort of sat in this heavy chair. Give me a perception check.
Okay. 15.
Yeah, you see a little table sort of to the left of the woman, a little behind her, upon which you see that expensive-looking sort of leather pouch that you saw him use. It's maybe 7 foot from you or you at the top of the stairs to him, and he is sort of staring down at the floor, but she is right next to it, sort of within a foot of it.
So what would it take for me to? Is it how brightly lit is this room right now?
There's a sort of a ceiling lantern hanging. There's also a torch sconce. It's definitely bright light, but it's on the edge of,
So because I'm asking because I have the spell Mold Darkness, and I want to see if I can
You
somehow
could definitely encroach the
shadow
shadows a
myself in the
little way down the
stairway
hall.
a little
If
bit.
he was sober, it would be very noticeable.
Right.
In the state he is, you're not sure how well that'll go.
Just enough for me to get a paw on the table to sort of
Yeah, well,
scoop it.
I will use the stealth check you've already rolled, but the Mold Darkness will affect their perception. Cool.
Whoa.
Yeah, the woman sort of stirs a little, but she looks up to the lamp, trying to sort of adjust a little bit. The man sort of tilts his head up a little bit, and you get a little nervous for a second, and he just sort of rolls down heavily and, "Make use of yourself, woman. Get me a wine." You get your hand on the pouch.
I scoop it and with my one of my feats that I have,
Whoa.
my opportunistic thief feat, I can conceal it without having to do any additional check. It's immediately concealed.
Wow. It's like Hammer Space, like a cartoon.
Yeah. Okay. And you can sort of slip this pouch into your belongings. I will homebrew this for you, but it costs summon food and drink once a week.
It only does breakfast, though, right?
No. It can summon. It can summon a large
only
banquet for
summon
up to 20 people.
Wow.
Once per
I
week.
would like it to be breakfast
Alright.
mostly.
Which you can't
I'll go
spread it
back
out. You will have to summon 20 people's worth of breakfast every time.
That could be like
so-
our calling card. After we rob a place, just leave a bunch of
Dump a
food.
bunch of
Yeah,
food.
the
Eat
breakfast
our
bandits.
fill and then leave the
Oh,
rest.
right. I see. Like you're leaving it as evidence, just to
Yeah,
confuse everyone. There'll be
They'll
no
think it's a
DNA on
giant
that.
crew of 20 people, but really it's only 4 of us.
exactly. It will look like our crew is huge.
Yeah.
All right. I will sneak back down the stairs and back to the group.
How'd it go?
Don't worry about it. I'll show you. I'll show you later. Let's go do your plan. You should probably get going.
Should we get? Yeah. Should we get out of here?
Yeah. Do you want to finish this? I passed Gnob the rest of my drink.
I'll grab it, down it.
Perfect.
One particularly pathetic man just goes, yeah. as you down it,
Love it.
no one else noticed. As you
great
wander on
party.
out, you see the Leonin returning from the line to the purchasing house.
What's he doing? Is he still holding those sticks?
He is still holding the sticks.
God damn it. Okay, great. Let me look around first to see if his boss is anywhere in sight.
Yeah, you see the boss over near the purchasing house, sort of 30 feet away.
Oh god. Okay. So I'll point him out to DB and say, that's who I'm going to impersonate. Just
Okay, he's
to
pretty
make
ugly.
sure.
From this distance, you
Yeah.
will hear him approaching his boss. He shouts across, "They're sold!"
No, what?
And the boss sort of looks at, yes, to us.
Oh, he saw
Right.
the horses didn't have numbers anymore, so he gave up.
But how do I know which one? They've got no numbers. Well, not my number. I can count up to 12.
Let's see them play out. Let's see how this plays
The
out.
boss sort of
first.
shakes his head and he just snatches the sticks, and he's going to walk on over, escorting the Leonin.
All
And
right.
when he gets to the
Yeah, this
close to the
plays
line,
out.
he goes, "This is my man. He's an idiot. He needs to collect these 2 horses. 2 draft horses." And he sort of shoves the sticks back in the Leonin's hand, puts the Leonin's hand firmly on the fence, just goes, "Just stay there until you get served." And then he clips around the back of the head, and the Leonin sort of winces, really like cowardly. This huge, muscular Leonin. It's absolutely terrified by this. And this tiny little man, this farmer, sort of struts away. "Get me an ale." And he waltzes straight on into the tavern. And as he does so,
work with this.
you will see one of the horse fellows sort of come over to him and very gently sort of pat him on the hands and, "Can I look at your tickets?" And then he sees the 2 tickets and "Those are the 2 draft horses, just there. Will you be alright guiding them on your own?" Yeah.
Oh, brother. We need to
and,
get in there.
Well, no, he leads the horses to
Well,
the Leonin.
Yeah, the owner went in the
Tavern.
inn to drink, so he's
Okay.
occupied.
And you will see this
Perfect.
Leonin sort of take the 2 reins, and he sort of like, he doesn't lead the horses, he tries to drag them.
Oh, brother.
And I think I have an image here. They are 2 matched greys.
Get over there.
Aw.
Get over there. Get over there, Ambrosia.
And they're sort of, that's just, I've chosen one with a person, it's just so you've got a size reference. These are huge. They stand sort of 19 to 21 hands.
Wow. They are not
You know, sort of almost
big
8 foot to head.
kind of cool though.
Yeah,
Cool
we'll
to be
just
so tall.
I'm gonna look
we'll just-
fucking
we'll
awesome
turn
riding
it
on
over.
that thing. Don't worry, we can
Um,
feed him breakfast once a week.
yes, it will take a mighty leap for DB to get up there. Even Gnob is going to need to take a jump. You know, it's a big fucking horse. And he's trying to drag them,
Well,
and the horse just sort of, the horse master's just
you
shake
get what
his
you
head.
pay for.
And he will lead them out. And then the Leonin's just sort of stood there dumb, trying to drag the horses down the road.
Okay, great. I will get behind a crate and disguise self as that farmer.
I've been waiting to use this music for this moment since the beginning of this campaign.
Oh,
Let
Jesus.
me find it.
Getting the kip in one
That's
session.
one episode.
Yeah. No. Since I started making the roll 20 like 2.5 weeks ago.
Oh, boy.
Where are we? It is literally called sneaking.
Oh, good. Great. So now I look like that crusty old man. How did he talk like? "Arr"?
All right. Very calm.
All right.
Yeah, great. Excellent British accent. Great work, Mikayla.
Oh, I was doing a great Amara that one time you weren't there. You should.
I did hear.
Josh.
I did hear. But I don't trust anything you guys did in my absence. So anyway, you will see that it's
Okay.
So the paddock, the purchasing paddock, if you will, is sort of that direction, sort of down and left from here, and it's a couple of 100 feet. So it's quite a long way from the tavern.
Perfect. So, I guess I will just, Cornelius, Gnob, or excuse me. Well, yeah, we got to be ready to get out of town as soon as I get these things.
Yeah,
So-
I figured we'd go and grab the Fred and horse.
Fred and Horse. Or Clarence. And so I am going to just go up to the Leonin.
Oh, got him!
Ugh.
Got him!
Well, it's about time.
They don't move.
No, I see that. I think you're doing something wrong. Ugh, the problem here is Ambrosia
Sorry.
doesn't know a lot about animals either.
His head sort of droops.
You know what? You just
I get on.
I can't deal with you right now. Go out of my sight. Avoid the tavern. You're not allowed in there. Go somewhere else.
Where do I go?
Go wait at the edge of... Oh, wait. Right outside the tavern, actually. There's a lot of breakfast I think they're serving.
Breakfast.
Go have some breakfast and then go stand at
Breakfast?
the edge of town. And don't move until I come get you.
Breakfast. Pong did well. And he looks like overcome with joy.
Do
The
not
owner
enter the
sort of,
tavern. You're forbidden.
right, no tavern, breakfast! And he sort of
Breakfast,
goes
and then edge of
lumbering
town.
over. He begins to jog towards the tavern, sort of, and then he just sets off in a full sprint. He comes in, sort of, like, bumps into a horse lawn, and he reaches over, and you just out of the corner of your eye, you just see him holding a ham hock like this. And the horse lords are sort of going, what's going on here? And there seems to be a bit of a kerfuffle going on, but the Leonin is quite determined to hold on to the ham at any cost.
Yeah, hopefully he...
Very
follows
quickly, Ambrosia, you realise
All
that
right,
the
let's
hustle
go,
and
let's
bustle is going to attract some attention out there. You've got two
Come
draft
on
horses. You're holding both, one in each hand. The
Yeah.
reins of.
The thing is, I don't think I know how to control an animal, so come on, horses. I'll try to lead them.
Okay.
Well, I
away.
think we see this happen, right? Like,
Yeah.
so I think
Yeah,
DB
you-
would come up, would go over and give
Okay.
her like 10 fingers to
Yeah.
like lift her up on the back, and then he would
Oh.
scramble up on the one
Okay.
next to it. We could ride him out instead of
Fantastic.
trying to like walk slowly. out
You have
away
purchased
from the
yourselves
crime
two
scene.
draft horses. These draft horses,
They're
however,
so-
are not particularly interested in moving particularly quickly. They
Ugh.
cannot dash. They cannot take the disengage action. And they have a
fine.
maximum speed of 30 feet.
That's fine. They'll do for now, I guess.
They're as fast as Gnob. And they begin to plod.
Oh, brother. We can sell them later. Let's go. Yeah.
We're making
yeah.
a slow escape.
If you want to try and make them run faster, you may try. And give me an animal handling check, both of you.
Okay.
+1.
Ooh. 30-20.
Okay.
12.
Yeah. DB, you sort of
Knob
tuck your
riding
feet,
one?
and then I thought it was these two at the
Yeah, I
moment.
mean-
Yeah, because you're out of town
Yeah.
with
With
Fudge.
reading.
I will
that's-
gladly
um,
switch with you
When we get to it. Yeah,
Okay.
when we get to it.
But yes, as you sort of jab it again, it gets a little scared. And it picks up its pace a little bit. It does a little
Now we're
trot.
talking.
The other one, no, still 30 feet, if that. Just,
Well, that's fine.
as you
Let's just-
as you get to the edge of town,
Come on,
no,
horsey.
as you see the second horse sort of very slowly going on, give me an animal handling check, please, no? As you look at these horses.
Not very good at those.
I believe in
Never
you.
mind, I'm amazing at those.
Never mind, I'm amazing.
All you need is my belief.
What did you get?
It's a 19.
Nice. With a 19, you will note that one of these horses appears to be struggling a little bit.
Oh no, what's wrong with it?
And as you sort of inspect the horses, their horseshoes are fitted very, very badly.
Oh my god.
It's not
These
necessary.
fools do.
They're so big, and the regular horseshoes just aren't large enough if you could get these shooed at another town, they may be a lot more efficient than they currently look. But in the meantime, it really, no dashing, no disengaging, 30 to 40 feet at most. Even that trot's a little dangerous.
They need
Roger, what the fuck? You got us some lemons. These horses they're all old and they don't move
How
fast.
was I supposed to know what the hell a draft horse is? I assume
my
they all
God.
go the same speed.
We need like a racing horse or
Look,
something. We don't need a draft horse.
You can walk.
You look back and you see some of these beautifully fine stallions, war
God.
horses,
That
being
was
led
probably
in by
like
the horse
2
lords.
silver. It was probably so cheap.
Well, you'd know 12 silver each for these draft horses, right?
Yeah, but only because those little shitheads like ran the price up.
Yeah. I genuinely thought you were going to try and heist them out of the stables. You might have been able to get much better mounts, but at a much higher risk.
No, this is way funner.
Instead,
This is way funner.
you have
This is way
persuaded
funner.
an idiot Leonin to hand you 2 fairly useless horses. As the 4 of you
I think
plod
this is good.
along
This is good for our brand.
the road to let's just put you on the Alpraz reason again. You're going to be plodding out towards Albak, or the Outback, if you will. Yes, as you plod away.
Ambrosia wouldn't know the fucking difference between a riding horse and a draft horse.
No, this is perfect. This is hilarious.
Yeah. You guys. Oh no, Pat, give me that back. How did you get that?
Uh-oh. What?
I don't know what that is.
That's a treasure card. Give it back
Ooh,
right
stealing
now.
Treasure. That is in character, actually.
Yes, literally from the DM, with no warning whatsoever. I tried to give you a bit of inspiration for your actions today, and a treasure card just appeared at the same time. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Good. Oh
You're
no,
like,
I got
that one.
caught. I rolled him that one.
You dropped it exactly. You did get caught.
Yeah.
But that is where we are going to come to an end, plodding to Albak. This episode title made no sense in the end, because you
What
just
was it
didn't.
titled?
Bound by blood. You didn't get to that bit.
Bound by breakfast.
Bound by horse.
Bound by
Yes.
breakfast.
I will change the title on YouTube to Prized Horseflesh. But
Horseflesh wasn't good.
That
I
is what
really
I'm
wasn't
naming my horse,
expecting.
by the way.
So Josh and I had a conversation a couple of weeks back about how there should be more selling horse places, and I'd already planned for Kalan to have a few more horse selling places. This Horseflesh is something it's quite a prized trade in Kalan. And I just thought, well, maybe they'll pass through there. Maybe they'll want to sell some horses or something, or like plan a horse heist later on or something. And then you guys literally on the road there were going, we should steal some horses from Alpraz. And I'm like, you ain't gonna get to Alpraz before you steal your horses. As soon as you guys said that, I realized that the episode was about to take a very different shape. But it was fun nonetheless. What a lovely little journey. And so we will come to the timeless tradition of MVPs. I have a few, but I will just keep it for now at a combination of the wonderful motivational suggestions of DB on how this group should be ran. We'll split it 50-50, 50-50. Let's do stuff. Yeah, excellent. Excellent work. Rico, your MVP.
So motivational.
Excellent session. Hilarious all around, but I think my MVP is the incredibly mysterious instance of Cornelius being kind. What the fuck was that about?
Josh just realizing his character needs some less sharp edges, just rounding them off. He's really nice to tavern folk.
Yeah.
Somehow that is the thing that's
Josh has ruined
freaked us out
something.
most.
Josh has ruined something.
Oh yeah, I know. It was excellent. It was ale.
And I wasn't there to see it. I'll never believe you.
Mikayla, your MVP.
Yeah, good to be back. Nice to just be nasty all the time. I don't know. Probably just the chance to scam somebody, you know? I'm glad, and DB got the chance to steal. So we're just getting right into it with our crimes.
Yeah.
I'm glad we are already off to a roaring start.
It does worry me that if I dangle anything slightly even somewhat shiny, it's not going to be a case of, we should go after this really interesting item. It's going to be like, it's worth more than 2 silver. We'll take it. We steal the grapefruit. We're taking the dragon's tongue. Like literally anything they find that might be worth some money.
I thought about stealing his expensive fruit. I thought about it,
Josh.
but I didn't.
MVP.
I'm gonna give it to the mysterious wizard in Gnob's backstory, and if we find out more like what happened there, why they parted, if we bump into this mysterious wizard, is Yeah, very intriguing.
Rico.
It's my turn.
Oh, deep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Rico.
Pat. Sorry. Yeah.
Rico already went.
I started.
Sorry. I like Rico.
No.
What can I say?
I do like ending up with 2 shitty draft horses for like no reason. Like that's
I
really
think
funny.
That's awesome.
But I think the hardest I laughed was when I was like, "Well, what are you doing after this anyway?" And Ambrosia just like nothing, I guess. Like,
She- I
might as
believe I
well.
went to, you said, "Have you got any plans?" And she went, "Technically, no."
Technically, no.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was really
it was
funny.
excellent. I did have a couple of others. Rico saying, "I ain't working for any of you." As Gnob, when there was a suggestion of working for each other, and Ambrosia's smoke snake for no reason other than to scare the lots of them. Totally unreasonable
Well,
and mean of
He
you.
seemed like he was in the mood to be scared, so you know.
You did, however, earn yourself 35 experience points
Oh,
for stealing
boy.
some oses.
Yay!
That's what I'm going to call it. Oses for courses. Is that something that translates to American? Do we know horses for courses?
It's
Nope.
just super. It just sounds super British, so that works.
Is
Yeah.
it cars for kids? Is it
Um,
like that?
Please no.
No.
Please no.
What exactly is? I don't actually know what it stands for. I just know when you say it.
Uh, 30.
Different people are suited to different things.
Okay.
Different strokes for different
Different
folks.
strokes, different
Which
strokes,
does
different
kind
folks.
of make the
Yeah.
title make quite a lot of sense, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
horses for
okay.
Your
courses.
phrases are posh.
I said it with a proper common accent. No, horses for courses.
That's
No,
right.
it's not necessarily posh. It's old. I think it's fallen out of. I think
Same thing.
it's fallen out
Yeah,
of
old
use long
funny.
ago. It's sort of it's very Del Boy. Anyway, but yeah, with that, that is where we're going to end. So if you guys would like to say goodbye,
Bye.
Bye.
it just falls to me to say thank you very much to our very own Rico for his Prime sub, resubbing for 32 months. Welcome back to the Quack
Wow.
Pack. And whoever anonymously gifted Jack a sub, thank you very much. Jack is one of our Sunday players. It's nice to see you all here. And we will see you all soon. Goodbye.
And Friday players.
Bye.